Okay, so it is September 30th, and this is the initial 1.0 training of Dawn's techniques. And tonight we're talking about the heart and digestive technique. And I discovered this morning when I was talking to Patty, whose partner in crime, another Anne, wasn't able to join us today. So that what I've written in the what I have written in the training manual and what I have in front of me here is totally different. And what it happened, I don't know, three years ago, maybe. We had Dawn had decided that he wanted people to do the advanced training, and but if to do it, that they had to really kind of know the techniques, right? Stands to reason if you're going to speed up stuff. And so he wanted me to do it within like 6 weeks of, it was an 8-week course. He wanted me to condense it and do it in time for the advanced course that was starting in September. Anyway, I did a 4-week one called the embodiment. And so we did that a couple of times around through the various people. Most of it's what's changed is if you read you read about the heart and the digestive technique, we still talk in there about positive and negative, right? Putting your hand on your heart, finding the spot, releasing it, and then doing the opposite, the negative, right? Well, through a lot of the trainings, I decided, because I was doing the trainings, I decided that with torsion, basically we are doing the opposites, right? We're doing one way and the other way. So we're doing kind of positive and negative anyway. And subsequently, because he was coming from the electrical standpoint of positive and negative, everything is an equal and opposite. So to me, the torsion is doing that, and it works just fine, and we don't have to do it. So I have choice, and you guys will tell me what I'm going to do. I can incorporate this the next day or so. Tomorrow, Wednesdays are always crazy, but I can incorporate what I'm going to share with you tonight and modify the document and send you a new document, or I can just send you this piece. That's up to you. I'm also send you a new document is what I'm thinking right now. And then just save that one, and you can throw the other one away, put it in your delete file. Okay. And then you'll have it there. So it's not the basics. There's nothing really here that's going to change other that. And rather than using the positive and the negative, because that's where we started, and things have evolved substantially since we started with this training 5 years ago. Okay. So that's what I'll do. Now, how many of us remember the eagle pull? Everybody. Okay. To me, this is the upgraded eagle pull, the heart and the digestive. Okay. Not that the eagle pull is not a great tool and you can use it, because it does the whole body, right? It does everything. Where this is working, it does, I think, a little bit more of the physical aspect, where these are more the emotional aspects, although you can work physically on the glands and the organs within the heart chakra and within the solar plexus, right? So, okay, so let's take a full deep breath in, blow out. Remember to constantly breathe through, not hold your breath. And the other thing I want to say is that today, let's try to be centered on that pinpoint, that spot. And, just kind of like when you do acupressure, if you hold it in, the intensity increases. Kind of concentrate a little bit about that before you blow out. Okay. Now, before I jump right into that, how did anything work wonderfully well for you with the Roto-Rooter last week? I made you switch gears. See, it's keeping you wide awake here. Nobody had anything. It didn't work. It worked. I didn't practice. I practiced. And there's Christy. But okay, Chrissy, put up. You always put your hand up. I pretty much just should ask you to start.
I was waiting for other people to go first.
I know.
Um, it's not so much just last week, it's something that I do rather often is, I use the Roto-Rooter on my eyes.
Oh
And
yeah.
because I have chronic dry eyes and I haven't been able to get the eye drops that I need. So they're in worse shape than they had been before for me when I was on the eye drops. And they get really bad sometimes. And I use the Roto-Rooter on them almost daily with using the palm on the eye, everything like that. I use it almost daily, and I have noticed that after I use it, I can see better. My eyes are not as irritated, like they're not as dry or red or just irritated.
Right.
And in a kind of a mental, spiritual type of sense, there's also more clarity. Like instead of just like, oh, I see that, going like, I see
Okay.
that kind of feeling. And that's what I've been noticing as I'm using it almost daily, and I've been pairing it with the chakra balance for the last 2 days, and I've been seeing some differences there as well.
Okay. Well, maybe as we work through this stuff in this week, maybe there is, uh, maybe there's something that we can clear. Maybe tonight you'll feel something that will, work in clearing and helping that issue. Um, I was told that my reason for my dry eyes was my heritage, and it's just something that happens. And the other thing is the oil that is clogged in your teardrops. And eye doctor told me about a little pad. It's like a mask, but it's got tiny, tiny beads in it. And it's weighted, like you put it in the microwave for 10 seconds or something, heats it up and puts that on, and that helps clear so that
Mhm.
you get the tear ducts opened from all the oil and whatever that has clogged them up. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, I have tried that. Not as often as I should, probably less often than I should for sure. And the thing is, it's not just my eyes, it's like my whole body. Like I'm dehydrated no matter how much water I drink. Um, my skin is dry, my hair is dry and oily at the same time. I don't know how it manages it. Um, and my skin too, like the surface is like dry and itchy and flaky, but underneath it's oily because I have acne and all of that other stuff all over my body. So I'm
Wow,
wondering if
that's
like
beyond my capabilities to
yeah, so
answer
I'm like
that
I'm
one, but
literally wondering if it's something genetic or something.
well, could
I
be.
don't know.
Could be your diet, could be 101 things. But, I think just keep doing the work that you're doing. And as we clear other things outside of our body, work on the chakras, work on the areas within the chakra, have that intention when you're working and balancing the chakras to work. Think of, okay, where does the heart, what are all the parts from the heart, right? What does it affect? So things like that, right? Because the heart, affects is the heart chakra is the heart, the thymus gland, which plays a vital role in your endocrine and lymphatic system, your lungs, your breasts. And there are other parts that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's in it's in the book, right? Where it talks about that. So maybe refer back to that and try to see, when you're doing the chakra balance and to have that intention for when you're doing it. And maybe work wherever the eyes are. I think the eyes are in the third eye. They're not in the heart chakra, but there are other things as well that can be affecting that, right? And it's
Mhm.
that time of the year too, right? I don't know where you
Yes, it
guys,
is.
some of you are warmer, some of you are just the same. I think probably Jan is the warmest
Oh,
weather right now. Um, Patty was telling me about Sunday when we were doing the research, and she said she was cold because I was freezing to death. And she said just one side of her was like all of a sudden at one point became like she's sweating on this half and the other side she's felt this deep chill. And so I shared what you told me today, Anne, about that it's helping you're ready to let go of some things that have been there for a while. So anyway, back to this now. Okay, ask your body on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic. Um, how how is my emotional being? How is my emotional being today at this moment? If you can get a number, okay, and try to remember that or write it down. Okay, so we just start by using the palms in our hands. We use that portal with the energy, right? And we're going to place it somewhere. Now I'm going to start with Jan. I'm going to do at least 3 movements. Maybe we can, we'll see how many we can do tonight. So I'm going to start with Jan. Jan, I'm going to concentrate on you. Everybody, you can find a spot on your own heart chakra area. And we're going to concentrate with the portal in the hand. So you just take it and you're going to move it. It's anywhere in this whole area, as high as sort of even, up in here, so just move your hand very slowly, 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and you find that spot. And when you find that spot, I want you to just concentrate on it. See that energy coming from the palm, almost like a small laser going down to where where that spot is there beneath your hand, concentrating on it. And now we're going to spin to the right and to the left equally and simultaneously, spinning, 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 increasing speed and force. Continue to breathe regularly. And when you're ready, go ahead. You can take a deep breath and blow it out. Then you want to take a moment and check in. Is it still there? So, Jan, is it still there?
no.
Is it gone?
Yep.
Okay. Did it move?
Just think it's gone.
Yeah. And sometimes they're just gone. Sometimes they do move, or they maybe have, or deeper, or this morning it was at the front, but it went more towards the back. Okay. So we've experienced that already. So now if you haven't, if it's still there, I want you, whoever's still working, we're constantly running towards you now, right? So if you still have something in that same spot, you continue to spin to the left and to the right, equals full torsion, left and right, equal and simultaneously, increasing speed and force. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in and blow it out. Off or yawn. So was that the same spot or was that a different spot, Jan?
That was a different one.
Okay, is it gone?
Yes.
Okay. The reason we want to stop and ask is we want to check if it's gone. Or because there's lots of minor challenges, just like with the ego, we're talking about belief systems, we're talking about traumas, we're talking about memories that trigger and have that electrical charge and resistance inside. And we want those gone, whatever they are, because they do not serve us any longer. Keep them there, right? So we don't have to worry about which one it is. We just have to find them. And if it's a bigger, stronger, more, in depth one, then we want to really get rid of it. And so we're going to work a little more on that spot. Okay, so let's work one more on yourself. See if you can move your hand around and find something that's really popping for you. And just hold it. Sometimes you just have to, I like to do this angle of inclination, if that helps, but you're moving like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, that kind of thing. Okay, and when you find it, pinpoint it.
There it is.
Okay, now we're spinning to the left and the right equal simultaneously, spinning, 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 spinning. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out, continue spinning. You're still sort of spinning. You don't stop ever spinning. And so did you feel it? Did it shift?
That one left too. They're running.
That one left too. Great. Okay. Okay. So, you follow along. You know what you're doing. You can feel them now. So find one on yourself. Rosemary, I want you to find one, please. You can think of a memory. That's another way you can think of. If you know something that's recently come into your awareness, or you have a couple of strong ones in there somewhere, feel it, find it. When you got it, now pinpoint it. Feel that laser going right down into that spot. And we're doing the spin. We're spinning to the right and to the left equal and simultaneously. Concentrate on it, wait, let it build the intensity. Take a deep breath and blow it out. And you check in.
Yeah.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Okay, great. Just magic tonight. Well, you guys are doing all the work. Okay, so see if you can find one more. Because there's lots of little ones when we first start doing this. We got one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Spinning to the right and to the left equal and simultaneously, spinning, 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 increasing speed and force. Take a full breath. Let it out. And then check in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone?
Gone.
Okay. Okay, somebody's got to have a tough one. I'm going to go to Anne first, and then I'll come to Chrissy. So, Anne, you got a good one there somewhere?
Yep, I'm on it right now.
Okay. Concentrate, drilling down right to that point, spinning to the right and to the left. Feel that torsion going in there, all that energy ready to break it up, and she's already blowing out. Is it gone?
I have to go. There's a little remnant.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with my other hand though.
Okay.
Here it goes.
And don't be surprised if you do get one that takes a bit more energy to do it. And because that's where we didn't even add torsion in before. We just did the energy like we have been doing with the key and things like that. And it was in one of the training sessions where the fellow described it. He had two. The first one was, fine. We blew out a couple of times and it was gone. And then he had two big ones. And one he described that it was like a spiral itself, like a lollipop, like the big suckers that are kind of colors and swirling around. So he said that's how he described this spot. It was obviously a very large one, and we couldn't get rid of it. And then I said, okay. And I just started doing torsion. The download I got was do the torsion, and bam. Right. So when in doubt, do the torsion. When you can switch your hand. You could do and Dawn, you see Dawn all the time doing the energy work and then switching it around, right? You can do that. You could take the key. I always start with the key. I forgot to mention that. I always start with the key and an intention because we are the key. By now, if we've been using our keys and doing the work, we have become the key. Dawn told me a story today about the dog, and you might have saw it, but anyway, that he had this new collar on with the keys, and then he took it off, and he was guided to leave it off today, off the dog, right? And so they went to visit his lady who makes his tie outfits, with the short collars and his whatever slacks that shorts that he buys or wears. She makes them for him. Anyway, when she was there and she's used to him and him, you say, hey, can I show you something? And he knew something was in her, something to do with her heart, right? That there was a weak spot or something. And he asked the lady to put her hand on Chino and to take a breath, and blew it out. And he said it was whatever was there was gone. Now that sounds totally weird, right? A little bit, not considering what we're doing, but and then just to check, so I think he muscle tested her. And then he did something with himself, right? And this is just to say, we can believe or not believe that we've been working with the keys, whether you have 1, 2, or 3, or soon to have 4 with the 741. Our body is already tuned to it, right? And so this happened. So between the dog, right? Maybe that's a little more strange versus Dawn. Dawn's not that strange, maybe, because we know he does this work and has been for a long time. But that was it. That was all that was needed. She has a key, I guess. She didn't have it there with her or on her or anything. And he said, he just touched her with his finger or something. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm sure he'll tell us soon, maybe tomorrow at the key class session. So pretty cool, right?
Mhm.
And the more we're immersed in it, the more we're going to be that. And he believes now, like with the heart expansion, that we are that, and that key, that energy that we're carrying, even though we're not necessarily manifesting physical or physical appearances with the change that's happening, right? Even though we're not manifesting that to our attention, right? Then we are changing. And our vibration is increasing and all of those things. And so if we think of that, we're walking around with that in our space. That energy is there, right? And if we're wearing our keys, for sure, right? So any questions or comments on what I just said?
Could I ask you a question just to get your feedback?
Mm-hmm.
When we were initially doing this, like for placing our hand on an area, so the initial place that I felt, like it locked in right here.
Right.
And so then I just felt like a magnet that just choop, and it locked in. And then what I noticed with the spin, then my heart started palpitating. I felt physical palpitations. I'm like, how interesting is this? So then what I did is then I took my opposite hand and then put it there. I needed to go in the opposite. So
yeah.
What is that doing, Phyllis? What I know that we're spinning. It's a different, how, I'm trying to I felt it change then. And then when I placed my left hand then over that spot, then the palpitations melted away. It disappeared. And I knew I was complete there.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask your feedback as to what did placing my left hand do?
When I saw you do it, I thought, oh, you're doing the polarity, with your right hand versus your left. But okay, so you had your right hand here first, right? And so
Yes.
that is the right hand spin. That's the yin,
Mhm.
right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So then by doing this, you were enhancing, maybe the yin was more powerful, and you're probably wearing your keys as well.
I
And
am.
now you needed to shift that to balance it, because as soon as you put your left hand there, you're doing the right hand spin, and that's balancing. So that just finishing it. And because you're now balanced, you're a little over the top with the yin, okay? And then the yang came in and it balanced it. And so the
I
palpation
understand.
stopped,
I got it. Yeah.
right?
I mean, it felt like I felt it. It moved. I'm like, I have no idea. It just automatic. And like, there it is. It's now,
Yeah. And
you know,
that's
yeah.
a great example, because there is no, well, there might be wrong, but there really isn't. There is no right or wrong. There's just different ways and different choices, right?
Hmm.
So you have to play, you have to experiment. Um, and so if something feels right to do that, do it, right?
Hmm.
Um, someone, I'm trying to think, we were using the key, like, and that's the other thing. If you have a stuck key, everybody here has seen Dawn do the A key or the two keys, where you just feel it and then it's here, and then you move it away from the body a bit, and you move it away from the body and move it away from the body. Is everybody? If somebody hasn't, can you put your hand, maybe Jan? Okay. So you can do it with one key, right? So if you have the one key, that's fine, but you just concentrate on the key, you connect to the key, and you feel it. Well, as soon as you feel that energy, because you're closer to you say your throat, let's see, yeah, and your thyroid. And then what you want to do is you want to move it out an inch or so. And you give it a moment, and you'll feel it maybe change. It'll either get stronger or weaker. I've had people say both. Okay. And then you take it out another inch or two. And then you take it out another inch. And you take out another inch. So play with this again. Now what you do, it's either going to be stronger or weaker. Now take it and turn it, say, to the right 15 degrees. And just hold it and feel the difference. So we have energy waves. We have waves coming this way to us. We have energy that's going out from us in waves, right? Like a sine wave. And it's just waves rolling out. Now, the other day when we did it, I was like, that must have been last Wednesday, I think. I was like, holy, I had two. And I was like, to me, it felt stronger out here. I felt because I felt the waves, right? Not just the energy, I think. Not that it was necessarily stronger, but I was like, and I've been doing a lot of this stuff all the time. So it was like amazing to me. And so you can do that, and you can use it with the different keys. You could even do, if you got one key, do it with the north. I did that the other day just to play. I thought, oh, I'm gonna try that. And okay, I just had the one key, and then I did the north, and then I went back and started at the front, or no, I was out a ways, and I flipped it to the south. Totally different again. Okay. So the waves, the frequency of the wave changes. Now, this is just to increase our awareness. In the level 3 training, there's a technique called, oh shit. You know, I love his names for things. But it originally was called holy shit. And I don't know, he had it in his bag of tools for a long time, but he never worked on a lot of people because the first couple of people that he worked on, they liked it so much that they overdid it and made themselves sick. Okay, and he told them, don't do this. First time he taught us, it was all people who had been through the steps. And so he showed us, and he cautioned us so much he almost made us scared of it. It's not really to be scared of, but it is if you overdo it, right? And so it has to do with energy like that. And you're sitting like in this, and you move, and then you gradually are moving every 15 degrees in a complete circle. And then so that's one level, and then there's other levels, and it's very interesting. The one lady, she worked in she was in Colorado, I think, and she worked in an area that had high generators and a lot of electromagnetic energy floating around, and that just made it even worse for he flew up there to go and work on her from Mexico. So that really put it on the back burner for him. And and this summer he did it with all of us that have been through all of that, and kicked it up another notch, right? So it's just fun things to do. Who watched the heart expansion, if anybody today, that was in the groups? If you didn't, please do so sometime this week and give me feedback. There's a couple of people that did respond right away from it. It's just a nice one, and it popped in my awareness because it showed up what in the stuff that we're working on now. Now, I've been talking along, so you probably all settle down. Ask your body, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being fantastic. How am I now with my whole emotional level? Okay. Anybody who got it and wanted to share, please? Jan?
I started as a 4 and now I'm at an 8.
Good. Anybody else? Anne?
I started also at a 4 and I'm at an 8.
Great. Chrissy?
I started at a 6 and I'm at a solid 9 right now.
Great. And Rosemary?
A 6 to a 7.
Great. Okay, now we know that Chrissy's probably the youngest one here. The rest of us have a few more years of stuff gathered in our bodies. And maybe we've done some really good work as well. That notwithstanding, please monitor how when you practice this week and do this, finding different spots. We can pick up new stuff within the week, okay? We hear something, we trigger something, how I would use this. This is one of the techniques that you do every week, at least once a week, okay? Because I was doing it all the time, because I know I've got a lot of those ego things, those beliefs, those emotional traumas that happened as a child, for example. And I certainly don't want to relive any of them, but I know they're there. Okay. And I want them gone. And I don't want anything to hold me back from anything. So it's important to work. And in the book, it talks about these being maybe a bit more of the softer stuff. And as we go into the digestive, that's the bigger stuff. I don't know, but the solar plexus we think is, stronger, but the heart is the strongest, right? In any case, it doesn't matter if it's shame or if it's anger, if it's frustration, or if it's self-judgment is a good one. That's a good one, what we all have lots of, I think, over time, from the time we're young to the time we're, especially in our teenage years, straight through. So keep that in mind. Now, so now we're going to go and roll straight into the digestive. So let's think of the digestive, and when we're asking, uh, what does it say here? Okay, I just wanted to overview this here. It says, the solar plexus was from your rib cage to your navel, associated with things like metabolic, digestive, stomach related. It includes the intestines, liver, stomach, upper spine, and many of these glands and organs are part of the body, also include the endocrine system. Therefore, using the technique will help release stuck energy and emotional trauma. Okay. As with the heart technique, this is a maintenance thing with practice and continued use to continue the benefits. Remember, it just takes a moment of your time. And just to be an awareness from something that triggers a memory, right? We all have those things happen, right? You might be at a family event, you might have dreamt of something. And if that brings some of those memories that you don't want, maybe go and try to find it, okay? And then release it. Or if it's immediate and you have time and you can do it, do it. It's just something that we can constantly use and while we're being in awareness. So let's look at this now and ask our body on a scale of 1 to 10. And we think of these maybe stronger emotions or any emotions that fit and maybe located in the solar plexus. How am I on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, well, that's interesting, Phyllis. I'll have to share this with you guys. Okay. Now, we don't do much different. I'm going to start with doing, we're going to use the hand, we're going to use the portal, and certainly we're going to use torsion, okay? And so it says you can start just just a couple of inches below the bone here, that I can't remember what it's called. Anne could probably tell us. Okay, start there, and let's all you kind of go to the right, to start with the right and move to the right using your palm again, and see. I want you to take your time and see if you can find a spot. And if you find a spot, use your other hand and just put it up so that I know you found something. Okay. Okay. Now concentrate again on that spot. We're still using that laser. We're going down. We're going into that spot, pinpointing it. Feel it. Don't release it right away. Make sure you've got it all really pinpointed, staying totally focused. Take a full breath in, blow it out. And or yawn. If you know it's there, we're spinning to the right and to the left, equal and simultaneously, spinning, spinning, spinning. Take one more breath right now, whether you think it's gone or not. And then check in. Feel the shift. Or check in and say, okay, is it gone? Yes. Is it anybody still have something there? Okay, so now we're going to continue spinning. Narrow it down again, stay totally focused on that spot. Spinning, 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 equal and simultaneously, increasing speed and force. Take a full breath. Give it a moment. You might need to let out another breath. Okay, now check in to see if it's there, or if it's gone, or if it moved. How was that, Jen?
Yeah, I had something.
Is it gone?
Now it moved.
Okay, well, let's follow it. If it moved, Follow where it's moved to and concentrate on that spot. Spinning, 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 full torsion to the right and to the left, equal and simultaneously. Spinning, 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 spinning. Out. Again.
Good.
Okay. Dawn, did you say?
Yeah.
Yes. Anne,
All good.
all good?
Mhm.
Chrissy, you were almost upside down there. I'm assuming it's gone. And I know you'll let me know if it's not. So, Rosemary?
Yeah,
Yes?
it's moving. I feel like it's part of digestion. I just ate dinner, so.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna show you something slightly different this time, okay? And so y'all want you to try it. Now, I probably have a little more padding than all of you on my solar plexus area. Just it's only here for a little bit longer and then it's going to be gone. But right now, what I found that I doing the heart and the digestive, I love doing it laying down. Okay. And with my tummy, when we first started with it, Dawn would tell me to use the back of the phone and use it like a laser to try to find it because I wasn't finding, well, this is 7 years ago. I wasn't finding it, right? I didn't feel I was finding it. And I was training a group, and what came to me was I use these two fingers. Well, it kind of came to me, then I tried it in training and it helped a few other people. I just find it easier to find the spots and I can zippity doo dah through it, right? So what I do is I use these two fingers and I use the longer one, but I take the two of them and I just move around. So I want you to try moving around on that, still on that right side somewhere. See if you can find something. And when you find it, you'll feel something, and then you can push a little bit in with that middle finger. And you get right on it. You can feel the intensity of it right away. You're still sending the energy to that spot. You're still pinpointing it. You're still focusing on it and everything else. We're still doing torsion, spinning to the left and to the right. Spinning, 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 spinning. Okay. Spinning, spinning, spinning. If it's not gone, I think I've got a little bit on because I this chose myself this time. Okay, does anybody still have somewhere they were on the spot they were on? Okay, Jan. Okay, concentrate on it. Spinning to the right, to the left, equal and simultaneously. Now increase the speed and force. Speed and force. When you're ready, take a full breath in. Let it out.
The fingers work better for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like the fingers too.
Yeah. I can feel it more.
It's everybody's different, but and somehow it just came to me and I'm like, why haven't I been doing this all along, right? And when we think of all of the areas and all of the parts and all of the glands and the endocrine system and all of that that's inside of there that could be geez, I can't even talk tonight, affected by these resistance points from however long ago. Man, this is important work. To me, this is very important work. And then what is telling me what my number was, I'm going to ask my body right now. We can do a little more, but I'm going to ask my body right now. And I'm going to see. I'm going to see. Ask your bodies. How is your emotional body with related to the digestive technique? Okay. Okay. Wow. So on the heart, I had an 8 and I went to a 9 and a 5. Okay. Here, I was at a 6 and I went to 8. So it tells me I need some more work here. Okay. Because I don't know that I've been really spending a lot of time on this lately, now that I think about it. And that's surprising. And so it just says maybe I got to do a bit more work on a regular basis. Right. And it'll be harder when I start turning the advanced 2 and advanced 1 on the next go around. But I already did this today. Okay, you got to realize that I worked with Patty and her missing partner this morning. I did want to share a story with that, but can you tell me what the exchange for you may have been, Jan?
I started around a 5 and I'm over an 8 now, definitely.
So, keep asking the question, paying attention, whether it's just even one little thing that you're aware of and you do this one. And you ask your body if you're not, is this a rotor-rooter? Is this just a deep breath thing? Although from now on, you're going to just do torsion all the time, most likely. Is this, what is it that I need to do? What technique do I need to pull out of my bag? Right. And as you practice, but when you're practicing this week, check in, ask the question before and after. It really does give you a sense that, yeah, you've done some good work, like to me, that's a big part of it. Now, before I say anything else, questions, anybody?
I have a question, Phyllis.
Mhm.
I started doing the chakra balance with the homework every day, like you asked for the first week, but I continued it on because I really like it and I feel like it's a good start to my day. Is that something that I should do every day if I feel like I need it, or should I back it off a little?
The chakra system is a big part of our system. It's our, if it's blocked, if something's not working there, it's going to make you feel tired. It's going to make you feel exhausted. Whether it's in we think we eat lunch and then we think, oh, what did I eat today? Because now you get into that draggy period right after, like 2:00, 2:30. And you think, oh, sheesh, I shouldn't have ate that or ate too much or whatever it is. Your body just feels that. But it may have nothing to do with that. Something is not working. The chakra balancing is one of the first things you can do to just get everything moving and working.
Okay.
And it affects everything, right?
Oh yeah, it's
If
really
our
a big
if it's
difference.
brain fog, then you don't, maybe you even just have to work on that chakra, right? Just trust your knowing, right? And ask the question. I hope that helps. But yeah, do it all the time, right?
Okay.
It's once we got the key, I thought, oh, I don't have to do chakra balancing. The key's balancing me. The 432 is balancing me. Well, not all the time. Sometimes it needs a little help. It's going to enhance what you're doing, but it's not the miracle, right? And so in the case of Chino, he was a little overstimulated. And that happened to me when I first got the key, and I went for 2 days, 2 days, 2.5 days. And all of a sudden, I had this inclination, my intuition, my claircognizance that said, take it off. And I was reluctant to. And and then the next, okay, for 24 hours, this just came out of the blue. Okay, 24 hours, take it off. Okay, now that's only happened one other time, but it was new to me. And my body was like, oh, this is like fun. And, but I need a rest. I needed a rest. Okay. It's adaptation, right? And that first key, we weren't as careful about adapting to it as well. It was brand new, right? So ask your body, and do what feels good.
Thank you.
I think I was more inclined with the chakra balance than I was at first with the triad.
Yeah.
And whatever it calls to you, do it. And this exercise here, you can use it. It's the same thing. It's the rotor-rooter without the stream, if you think about it. And if you want to do it and work on your liver or your kidneys because you got some pain there. I still remember when Anne first came to one of the very first key Wednesday thing that she came to, and that's when Don said, "Oh, it's the lymphatics or something," right? And then he started working on that, and then next thing you know, we've got a lymphatic video. Okay, so if that's where it feels and it's bigger than, like, if you feel like it's bigger than a pinpoint, well, then do it. You can use this. It's the same thing. The rotor-rooter is just more concentrated, right? For the limbic system, for, the pineal, for um, the um, the individual pain and resistance. Speaking of which, story today was Patty. And she knew she sort of has a chronic problem in her wrist, and it goes up and down in here. And I said, "What's your story from last week?" And she said, "Well, I was busy at work and doing something. And so I was totally in the present here with what I was doing, but it hurt. And I just started doing torsion." And not only, so she was doing torsion horizontally, doing all the angles. And she said, "I'm still doing whatever I was working on, but I did that. And then I realized it's gone." It was relief. So I said, "Well, now you might want to try doing that a little more consciously to see, like, it can come back, right? Maybe to get rid of whatever was there, but isn't that amazing?" So this is the fun part of what we're doing.
Can I share something?
Yeah.
Um, I too, like, how Jan just shared, the chakra balancing, I've incorporated it in the shower. So as I'm bathing, I'm then attuning and using the water element to help me also.
Mhm.
And then using that spin, and boy, I really, really like that. That's what I've been practicing this past week. And it just,
That
I don't
makes
know, it feels so good. It feels so
Oh,
good.
well, ladies, try that one. I'll try it. I know that back in the day, Toby fell in love with the triad, right? And that's what he did every morning. Like, he'd go to the gym or whatever, and then right after that, have in the shower, and he would just do the triad for till he was, new person and out, and that was one of his favorites.
Yeah, it
And
energizes just again using the water element, but I'm
yeah,
just going through each
wow.
chakra and it's like, wow, this feels really, really good.
Yes, that reminds me. Dawn told me, because I had a couple of keys here that didn't have clasps on it, and he told me to do the the shower thing, and I'm supposed to put, I think, 4 keys, 3 or 4, because depends, mine is where it comes out of the wall, and try to tape them on there and shower and see if that makes a difference. So first I'll try the chakra, and then I'll get the tape and put the 432s on it.
And in the shower, like, I don't have the key, we are the key. I'll ask my
Yeah.
guides whatever frequency I need. So I just flow. So I know that whatever I need is going to come in, whatever frequency I need. So I just relax with it and
Uh,
just flow through it. So
oh, I don't
it's
need
really
the keys
nice.
taped to my shower, is what you're telling me. I can just,
No, I just call upon because they're
that's a,
there. They're
that's a
there
better,
within us.
yeah.
So it's not in the shower with me. It's outside, but whatever I need, I ask them. I said, whatever I need, whatever frequency I need, because some of the chakras need more than one.
Yep.
So, and it automatically does it. I mean, I've been just paying attention. We're just watching. I'm like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. You know, so and as I'm in the shower. So
Who else wants to try that? Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we're going to have great stories for next Tuesday. And next Tuesday is the DNA basal ganglia, right? So that's a fun one. You have to do the DNA before you do the basal ganglia and before you do the symmetry key, which is part of what he did in the video, the heart expansion video today. And the symmetry key is a version of the version of what? It's the version of the rotor-rooter without the stream, but also with sine waves turning into DNA strands and the flower of life. So just a little teaser there. But it was the one I fell in love with, to the point where the day I learned it, I'd come back to Mexico in the fall, up on the rooftop. It was a new one that he'd come up with, and oh yeah, and I said, oh, I want to know what that is, right? The little your beaver. And then he said, okay, so he starts working on me, and he says, and it was funny, and I'm just like, oh, blissed out in a way. I wouldn't have even used that word back then, but anyway, it was. And then all of a sudden he says, well, I got to stop now. My guide told me to stop. The same time he's wording that, Maru says to me, who's sitting on the other side of me, she says, you got to stop now, because it was too much for my system. And of course, then if I was going to be dizzy, right? Etc. And so I felt a little dizzy, and with that much torsion, and I hadn't been right in the classes and doing any of, I was still using the tools I had, but I loved it so much. I did it every day. Sometimes I would do it 3 times a day. That's craziness. Okay. Chakra balance, going back to that just for a second, it just made me have a memory. At one point, we were practicing. Maru and I both new at it, right, at this stuff. And we went to her house and we're doing chakra balance. And she says, okay, I'm going to work on you. And then I worked on her. And then we worked on each other at the same time. I didn't know. I just did it, whatever. I didn't know where she was or anything, but we're just doing this stuff, practicing. And so we stopped. We were high. We were like 2 13-year-olds walking down the street, beep bopping along. Seriously. I said, Maru, is this just me? We're giggling. That's how good it felt. So, Jan, just do it every day.
Okay, I will continue.
The rest of us might have to try to do it at least a couple of times a week. So enjoy. I want to thank you for your time and patience tonight. I hope you got
Thank you.
something out of this. And I'm going to redo that, if not today and tomorrow. I'll redo and put the and I'm going to check in there that I've got the finger exercise, because I think that was important for most of us. And we'll keep plugging away. Questions you have, if you need to talk to me, you know where I am. If you can come to the key at 6 p.m. tomorrow, do so. And Chrissy, you and I are going to talk for a minute here when I close up, unless you have something you want to share to the group. Okay.
good night,
Anything else?
everybody.
Everybody's
Thank
good.
you.
Okay.
Night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. Have a great week. If I don't see you before next week.
You too.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
There we go. Now.